To get started. So, hi everyone, and welcome to the Managing STEAM Teams room. My name is Faith, and I'm going to be your host for today's panel. I'd like to begin by gratefully acknowledging that Science World is located on the traditional and unceded Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh village site of Sanok. So we will start today with a quick introduction from our amazing group of mentors, followed by a hosted discussion. If you have questions for the mentors, please feel free to put those in the chat at any time, and we will hopefully be able to get those answered for you. Our technician today is Jenny, and they will be monitoring the chat. And if you have any technical issues, they'd be happy to assist. We ask that you keep comments in the chat and keep them respectful and relevant to the topic being discussed. Awesome. Okay, so now it's time to meet our mentors. So we're going to start by going around and doing a brief introduction before we jump into the questions. So mentors, you're all here on screen. It's wonderful to see you. And what I'd hope you to introduce yourself with is if you could let us know your name, your job title, and the thing you love most about your career. And I'm hoping if we could start with Anu and then go to Nicole and then Stacy. So your name, job title, thing you love most about your career.
Okay, hi, this is Anu. I'm working for a technology company called SAP, and right now I'm working as a chief security responsible for a few of the products for our SAP portfolio. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Anu. Nicole?
Hi, my name's Nicole. My pronouns are she, her, and they, them. I am currently a senior product manager at a company called Banana Tag, and I'm responsible for thinking of all the ways that we can get customers to use Banana Tag without actually coming into our product. Two things that I absolutely love about my job and why I keep doing this is I love talking to people, and that starts with both within my team and then within all the customers or people that could become my customers in the future. I love finding out what their problems are and how I can possibly help them. So that's me.
Very cool. Thanks, Nicole. Stacy?
Hello, I'm Stacy. I am a digital marketing manager at Innovate BC. That's a crown agency of the province of British Columbia, and we help tech companies and businesses start, scale, and grow. As a digital manager, I'm responsible for anything as simple as organic social to strategic partnerships with other organizations, to search engine marketing, paid advertising. And what I like most about my job, or my career actually, is that the environment or the mediums of digital is constantly changing. And so you always have to be on your toes and keep on learning. And funny enough, I didn't go to school for marketing. I went for accounting, but the world changes and you have to adapt with it. And yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I feel like there's a bit of a big career switch that most people wouldn't make from accounting to marketing. Awesome. Thank you all. And for those of you watching and listening, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them into the chat and we will hopefully have the mentors answer them. But we're going to get started with some questions I have. And the first one I have is, how did you get started in your career? Nicole, if you would feel ready to take this away.
Yeah, I actually got started working in advertising. I was really interested in making TV ads and billboards, and I got out of school. I got to do that for the first 6 months of my career, and then I realized I didn't like it, and I wanted to work with computers. My brother works with computers and internet things, and I thought that was so cool. So I managed to fall into it over time, both as an account manager, project manager, program manager. I feel like I followed a news path in some form. And yeah, I ended up doing product management because really the thing I love doing is just talking to people all the time. And as a product manager, that's my literal role, day in, day out. So I love it.
That is awesome. And it's great to hear your passion for the job. That's so cool. Yeah. Stacy, would you want to go next? How you got into your career?
Yeah, as mentioned in that last question, I was doing accounting, and it wasn't something that I found interesting. And funny enough, I did want to go into advertising and communications, but that was actually hard to do at the time. It was mostly unpaid internships that would go nowhere. So I ended up getting a job at a bank as a customer service, the person that you talk to on the phone, which was actually one of the toughest jobs and most ruthless jobs I've ever had. You could get fired in a second. But that actually led me into the advertising world, funny enough, because my director that hired me the first time to get my foot in the door, she used to work at Visa, and she understood how much empathy that you had to have to be on the customer service side of things. And my first role in the marketing world was a community manager. So talking to people online, listening to their concerns, doing the customer service aspect of advertising. The empathy kind of got my foot in the door. And then it's grown ever since into a variety of roles and leading different teams, and it's been fun.
That's really interesting. I wouldn't have thought actually that empathy, would make such a good transfer, but that makes sense because if you're empathetic with people, you'd be able to market to them better, understand them better where they're at. Awesome. Thanks, Stacy. And Anu, if you could let us know how you got started.
Yeah. Actually, when I was a teenager, I always wanted to be a doctor. And I don't know, when it came to choose a career and I wanted to go into college, that's when I thought like I loved math. And if I chose the profession of a doctor, I would have to give up math at some point. And that was the reason why I went into technology. I did my bachelor's in technology, and I was always in technology right from out of college. I never changed my profession. I loved my profession so much that I never wanted to give it up. So initially, but within the profession, I have changed a little bit. Initially, when I started, I wanted to do something in the computer-aided manufacturing, which is designing machines to automate the process of manufacturing something, right? So I wanted to be in that, but unfortunately, there were not that many openings. And I went into software programming, and I started as a developer, but then I became an architect, then project manager, program manager, delivery manager, and now I'm responsible for various products within our company. The most important thing that I enjoy about my work is solving issues. So making someone's life easy by providing them a software that will help them with their job, right? So solving people's issue is what drives me, and I feel very, very satisfied when a customer says that, "Oh, you resolved my biggest problem." And our company has very good customers like NASA, and I mean, a lot of different customers. I don't want to take names, but I am really happy to solve their problems.
That's really cool. And I think it's great for, the students listening to hear how math was the focus that pushed you that way. Because when I tutor students in math, I hear a lot like, why does math matter? It's just, it's not important, but it's great for them to hear like, it's, that's the career you're in because of math. So awesome. Thanks, Anu. And Stacey, we have a question in the chat that I feel you'd probably be great at addressing, which is what qualities are required for a job in marketing. And Nicole, I don't know if after Stacey you'd feel you'd have something to add. It sounds like you do a bit of marketing as well, but if we could start off with Stacey.
Yeah, I think the term marketing is quite broad. And so you can be a graphic designer is needed in marketing, UX UI is needed in marketing, being a digital marketer like myself that at times works with large budgets and plans paid campaigns, you have to know math and you have to know how to forecast and you have to know how to present your math in a way that can be understood by people who don't care about math, like the VP of marketing for the client that you work at doesn't really want to know the nitty gritty of all the forecasting and calculations, but they're the ones that are signing off on the budget that they're giving you. So in that sense, math is important, but creative, the demand for graphic designers that's actually one thing that my goal is to learn Illustrator, because I feel like I could make so much money on the side if I just had that skill. But and also like account management. There's people that run the show. There's production managers, knowing how to talk to people and keep things in line and move the project along. Creative directors. There's and also writing. There's copywriters. Content creators, I think, is an oversaturated market, but yeah, there's lots of things you can do in marketing. It's quite broad.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacey. Yeah, it sounds like there's lots of opportunities. And Nicole, I don't know if you want to add to that as well.
Yeah, I think, just having been in it, and I work with so many marketers and so many product marketers, for example, like there's another role. The traits that I see that for the people I love working with in those roles are people who know what information they need to back up their ideas. So how many people care about it, type of thing. They are people who just get things done because they're like, look, I believe in this. And then the third one really is people who are willing to give up their darlings. Just because you have a solution doesn't mean it's the best solution. And they're the people who look at the opportunity as the thing to care about and not just the solution they've come up with. So like those are some traits that across the board, I think in most roles are just so invaluable to have.
Yeah. And also like understanding, stepping outside of what you're trying to sell or a service, whatever, and like stepping behind that and seeing what it could be for your potential customer. Like be able to remove yourself.
Yeah, it's not about you.
It's not about you. It's not about your product. It's finding a solution or a value proposition for your customer.
Absolutely.
Do you feel that those are skills you can learn on the job, or do you feel you should get into the career with those skills or those qualities? Sorry.
I think you can learn them on the job, but you have to. I think you have to care about. If you're marketing to people, you have to care about people, and that's like if you don't care about other people, you're probably not the best person to market to them. So you kind of have to like that customer psychology, kind of trying to figure out their needs and wants, and it's something that you don't need to. It's more like an underlying, not really a skill, but like something that you're interested in, and it kind of makes you tick to like get inside people's heads and figure it out.
Yeah, the 5 whys and always asking 5 whys and taking feedback, right? Like regardless of whether or not you think you have that skill or not, you're going to go into the job and people are going to tell you that you're probably wrong.
I think just to add to that, if you're a good storyteller, right, that would really work for a marketing job, I feel, at least, because you can make up a story like how the product that you are trying to sell will solve the problem that they are having. Make a story like, oh, you have this problem, and if you have this product, then it will be like this, or something. A good storyteller is always a good marketer, I feel.
And I think getting into the industry too, you're also going to be, if you're going into advertising, maybe not an internal marketing job, but if you're going into advertising where you get like the creative directors that they're like been there for like 30 years, you have to be willing to just learn from them and also know when to shake things up and present your ideas in a backed up way.
Have your data to back it up.
And that's true in any field, not just advertising, I guess.
Absolutely.
It's true in any field.
Yeah, definitely for my everyday.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. I think we're about getting to the end of our time here. So I don't know if you had any last minute comments to add on very quickly from anyone.
I would say, like, honestly, whatever you're looking at, whatever industry role you're looking at, there are some basic traits that, as teenagers going into your 20s and so, that cultivating it is very important, right? Like, Stacey mentioned empathy. Empathy is something that you have to learn and refine day over day, week over week. And the more you expose yourself to meeting more people, the more you get better at it, and kind of get over yourself and your ideas of different things and how they work. I think that has been probably the driving force of how I've moved through my career and how I've been able to advance through my career as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. That's a really beautiful note to end it on. I think we're at time here, unfortunately. It was very interesting. So thank you so much, Stacey and Anu and Nicole, for joining us today and for sharing your time and experiences with us. That was so interesting. And also thank you to our listeners and for Nicole for the question as well. And we hope you enjoyed our discussion today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much.
Bye.